Hello and welcome to Easy Eats. My name is Chef Yves Dechaine, and today we're in the Greener Villages Learning Kitchen with André Pelletier, past president of the Sunshine Rotary Club. Welcome, André.
Thank you very much for having me this morning, Yves.
André, you're not only the past president of the Rotary Club, but you also own a little shop called Curious Foods, Inc.
Yes, that's correct.
So today you're going to show us how to make some of your famous hand pies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about the Rotary Club and how that got started.
The Rotary Club in Fredericton actually is celebrating 100 years this year. The four regional clubs, so we have 4 clubs in the area, and we're doing a gala dinner on May 11th to honor some non-Rotarians that are, very good community members and citizens that contribute to the greater community in a volunteer capacity. Yep.
Perfect. So what does the Rotary Club do exactly?
And it really is, it was business people that came together. They wanted to give back to their community and raise funds to, build parks, help the less fortunate, that kind of thing.
Perfect. So our water's boiling here, which tells me that we need to start talking about our hand pies. So what kind of hand pies are we making
So this
today?
morning we'll do a classic chicken pot pie hand pie. We have all your ingredients here on the side. Thanks, Eve, for prepping those.
No problem.
We'll parboil a few things, like the potatoes and carrots. Usually we parboil before we start mixing it all up.
So let's do that. So for this recipe we've got 2 red potatoes.
Yep.
So while those are boiling, we need to start making the sauce and the filling for the pie.
Absolutely.
And we're going to start making a roux, you were saying.
Roux, yeah, traditional roux. So the butter and the flour.
All right, so equal parts, right?
Yep.
So we'll put in, right now, we're making probably about 6 pies is what we're making today,
6
right?
hand pies. They're about, a couple of, 200 to 225 grams per pie is usually how we make them. In our kitchen we have industrial scale, commercial scale equipment, so it's a little different. But the filling is very similar. This is how we make filling, just in a larger batch.
Yep.
The hand pies themselves go in trays and whatnot, but today we'll just be folding them over with pastry that we've brought from our kitchen, because the pastry is a lot more time intensive.
Perfect. So if you're trying to cheat, you could just use puff pastry or something like that.
We've been developing these recipes for years. We only really launched last year, and for the longest time we were making short crust pastries, we were buying puff pastries, we were experimenting with a bunch of stuff. Yep.
Perfect. So I've added flour to the fat, so that's a roux, so it's equal parts fat and flour, and then we're just going to
stir it all up, get it all, all incorporated, and then we'll add some heavy whipping cream to it and whisk it up.
Nice. So you add the heavy whipping cream, so we're starting out with like a bechamel, like a cream sauce first. Perfect. Oh, that's great.
You know the names, I don't.
And that's what I'm here for, is to
exactly.
demystify. So while I'm doing this, there's a few Rotary clubs in town. You guys are part of the Sunshine Rotary Club. What makes that different than the Rotary Club, the North Side or the South Side
So it's
Rotary
all about
Club?
meeting times, really.
Gotcha.
And the Rotary clubs have different meeting times. Usually it's either in the morning, early morning, like our club meets at 7 in the morning before work starts. Some clubs meet at lunch and some clubs meet at supper. Now, since the pandemic has kind of disrupted everything, I know we're getting back to normal, but when the pandemic started, the Rotary clubs started meeting online as well, and they've created new subsets of clubs where it's all online. And it's just, we're trying to adapt to people's time and people's lives so that, because again, service clubs have been decreasing, right? Memberships have been decreasing, and that's just a reality across all service clubs. And they do fulfill a very important role in our communities. So we're trying to adapt to that reality so that we can get more membership.
Well, absolutely. So you said that it's declining. Is there a reason or a leading factor that it's declining?
I think it's just the reality of people's lives. How busy we've become as a society, and it's also like it's different changing roles in the family structure. It is just a fact. We're trying to reverse that by being more flexible with our membership, being more flexible with our roles, and being more flexible on the model. They do perform important services. Like most of our fundraising activities, we do like a golf tournament, we do Beer on the Bridge in July, and these wouldn't happen if it wasn't for service clubs, right?
Absolutely.
Like they drive a lot of the of those types of summer activities that people get together for, and would miss if they were gone, right?
Fantastic. So we've got the cream that I added in, and we're just kind of loosening it up a little bit more here. Next step was probably add a little bit of chicken stock.
Chicken stock, yep.
And then
do the same thing, loosen it up, get it nice and uniform, and then we can just add, the chicken and the other ingredients into it to just get that flavor going.
Perfect. And we parboil the potatoes because we just. It'd be hard, right?
It would be very hard. We're trying to get a uniform texture with our various kind of vegetables, so we don't want to bite into a hard, chunky potato.
No, absolutely. So right now we've added probably about 500 mils of whipping cream, and just under a liter of chicken stock.
Yep. It's looking good.
It's looking fantastic. Now, cream's decadent, Andre. Can we use something other than that? Like, I know that I like to use sour cream, or you can even use milk, can't you, if you're trying to be a little bit more budget friendly, right?
And calorie friendly.
Well, yeah, I guess so too. So the Rotary Club gets together, it raises funds and stuff like that. So, and then it turns around and it gives out. And what kind of organizations do you support?
Well, Greener Village is one that our club supports quite heavily.
Okay.
We also support Partners for Youth here locally. And again, Rotary is an international organization, so sometimes we partner with clubs in other parts of the world to do bigger projects. So one project that's being done by a Rotary Club in southern New Brunswick, the Rotary Club of Grand Manan actually, is they've partnered with Rotary Clubs in Ghana, and they have commissioned a mobile advanced hospital.
Okay, wow.
It's definitely being commissioned now, and it's going to be delivered to Ghana, and then it's an off-road type mobile hospital, so that because they don't have the road structure over there, and they need this type of service. It's a large project. Like the Rotary Clubs had to raise about $250,000, and then there's matching funds that come from Rotary International and the Rotary Clubs over there, and it all comes together as one big project.
Perfect. What makes Rotary different than, say, the Lions Club or the Wisemen or the Kingsmen?
Honestly, it's to me they're all very similar. They all try to do the same thing. The reason why I joined Rotary is I knew about it, and they had approached Julie to help to do the first Beer on the Bridge, and we just ended up volunteering for Beer on the Bridge specifically, and ended up joining Rotary afterwards. And I mean, the camaraderie is really great. We have a very diverse club here at Sunrise. We have members from Nigeria, Jamaica, Philippines. We have members who are in their early to mid 30s all the way to their mid to late 60s. So it's a very diverse club. We're also very gender balanced. And that is something that Rotary has been pushing for, to increase diversity.
Okay.
And it does help. I mean, Fredericton is a good place for that because, I mean, it's a very diverse city. Absolutely. And it's easier to find people from diverse clubs. I can just imagine it would be more difficult in Woodstock or the more rural parts of the province to increase diversity. But we get together, and again, the Rotary clubs act locally, but we're grouped together in a district. So the district that we're in now, 7815, it encompasses all the clubs in New Brunswick, PEI, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, and Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon. And it's a large geography, but we get together either online now, or once a year there's a district conference, and then we can exchange ideas and meet other people in other communities that are very service-minded. And it's like I said, it's a very great way to get to know your community, get to know people in the community, and also to give back and make an impact.
Now the sauce is ready for the pot pie, so join us after the break while we just add all the ingredients to it. Welcome back to Easy Eats. Again, we're in the Learning Kitchen with André Pelletier, owner of Curious Foods, Inc., and he's showing us how to make his famous chicken pot hand pie today. Yep. Perfect. So we've got the sauce, Andre.
Yep.
And now we're just going to start adding a few ingredients.
Let's incorporate all the ingredients. Exactly.
Perfect. So while we're doing that, Andre, tell me how was Curious Foods created?
Yeah, well, this came about in a long way. So my wife, Julie, spent some years in New Zealand, and over there, New Zealand and Australia, hand pies are everywhere. They're like in convenience stores. You can pick them up like hot dogs at the Circle K here, but over there it's all hand pies. So when she moved back to Canada, she started kicking around the idea of bringing that concept here. And over the years, we've been making them as Christmas gifts. So we would make them around Christmas times and give them away to our friends and family. And we've been, playing around with the various recipes over that time, perfecting the dough recipes and the filling recipes. And a couple of years ago, when one of the friends we gave a pie to was like, let's start a business. So we incorporated and away we went. So the last couple of years has been, just kind of developing that business, and we're finally officially launching our pies. We'll be at the Boyce Farmers Market at the end of April.
Awesome. So we've got our potatoes, and we've incorporated our carrots. Now I'm going to put in some onions, and we've pre-sautéed these. Yeah,
right? Just to unlock the flavor a little bit of the onions, and develop that nice caramel flavor of the onions.
Exactly. Now, you guys are doing it this way. There's a couple different ways. You could start your onions and then make your roux in with your onions. But like you were saying, you're doing yours in large batches, so this makes more sense.
Absolutely.
Or if you're food prepping, again, let's bring that down to that. If you're doing them in small batches, this is a great way to food prep and kind of grab one of these, take them out, bake them to order.
No, and I mean, everybody's got a chicken pot pie recipe, right? There's so many variations on chicken pot pies. This is one that we've been developing, and is the one we use for our fillings. But I mean, everybody's got a slight variation on this. I'm looking forward to tasting this one, I guess.
Perfect, awesome. So, and then again, pot pies are great because you can use leftover stuff.
Absolutely. All these veggies are great.
Right, and then you can use them frozen. You can use them fresh.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right, now we're gonna add our chicken to that.
Oh, we're getting full up here.
We're getting full, so we got to watch what we're doing here, and then we're just going to add our seasoning. So we got a little bit of thyme today, and then your recipe called for dried parsley. I'm not a huge fan of dried parsley, so we got some fresh in the kitchen.
That's good stuff too.
And then
fresh is always better.
Then we'll add just a little bit of Dijon mustard to that, and then Dijon is not necessary, but it adds that certain
zing, right? Yeah, absolutely. Again, there's so many variations on pot pie recipes. I mean, this one here is definitely full of flavor, and there's lots of nice colors. And again, we use red potatoes they hold up a little better to the boiling and the cooking.
Okay, so that answers that question right there.
I just clued in.
All right, perfect.
I'm sure Julie will be watching this later, and she's like, oh, that's why. Yeah.
Perfect. You said you guys are launching at the market at the end of April, but if you wanted to get your pies now...
You can still go and get the pies. So our kitchen is up on Hanwell.
Okay.
It's off Hanwell Road. It's 880 Hanwell, Suite 111. It's formerly the I'm Here and I'm Hungry, and it's still kind of branded that way. But we are, and I'm Here and I'm Hungry has been incorporated into the new Curious Foods line.
So you guys are going to be doing oatcakes with I'm Here and I'm Hungry, and then launing the
pies on the side.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Now this looks amazing. I think we'll leave it heat up a little throughout and see how it tastes.
Perfect. So do you need to cool this down before you stuff your pie?
We usually do cool it off. And then we'll put them in hand pies. Like I said, today we don't have our tin, like the trays that we normally use in our commercial kitchen, but we can fold them over and it'll be fine.
Well, that's it. Perfect. You said that you guys are launching in April. We've talked about that already, but how long has Curious Foods started, or how long have you guys been actually making pies for more than just your friends?
Yes, so we started in July of 2022, essentially.
Okay.
We had been looking for a commercial kitchen to lease or rent or whatnot. We did find one, and we were renting 2 nights a week, and we were slowly building up stock and testing the market and whatnot. And then this opportunity came up to merge with I'm Here and I'm Hungry, so we jumped on that, and it gave us full control of a kitchen space, which allowed us more time to make more pies, more products, and that's where we're at now. And that happened in January of this year, so it's quite recent. And we've been transitioning, adapting our processes to make sure that we can do both products still at the same level. And we're pretty happy with how it's going so far, and we're excited to see what the next few months bring.
Are we going to see Curious Foods in the grocery store, say at like Victory or
Peters? Maybe. We are working towards that. It is a long process, of course, and again, we're scaling up. So once we reach the scale that we're comfortable with, I think that's the end goal. That is our target.
Welcome back to Easy Eats. We're here with André Pelletier again to fill these lovely hand pies. So you brought some pastry with you, some puff pastry that you guys made at the shop, right?
Yep, it's a modified puff pastry. Just the fact that there's different ways of making puff pastry. Puff pastry is a very labor-intensive process.
Absolutely.
This is made at the shop with some equipment and some variations to the puff pastry style so that it cooks better in our tins and it holds up to being handheld, essentially.
Perfect. And then if you don't have that, you can just go to the grocery store in the freezer aisle and you can find some puff pastry.
Puff pastry, we've used short crusts for the bottom in the past. We've done puff pastry tops. We've played around with puff pastries. This one works for us. But again, if you're making a standard pot pie, yeah, absolutely use a short crust and or a puff pastry that you can buy at the store. Perfect.
So I'm going to cut out some rounds here,
Yep.
and then you're going to show us how you go about. Here we go. There we are.
Oh, nice.
There you go. We're going to grab these right here, and
Oh,
we're making these a little bit bigger than you usually do, Andre, right?
Yeah, well, like usually we have, again, we have these trays to make them. These are fold over, so it'll be interesting to see how they turn out. But these are about, yeah, they're a little bigger than what we would normally make. But I mean, again, who am I to say what size of a pot pie you should be having?
It depends on the size of your hand, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I noticed that you stretched it out a little bit. Is that an important step?
Well, it's not really an important step. It's more to get the thickness right. You just want to get a better feel for it and make some room for the filling here because, I mean, the best part is the filling after all.
Perfect. And you're going to seal that with an egg wash,
An egg wash, yep.
So I'm going to make an egg wash really quick while you stuff that. And an egg wash is simply just an egg, a little bit of water that you mix up together. And the egg wash will help seal, and it'll also help brown the
outside.
The outside, yeah. So I'll get
yeah,
that.
the egg, the proteins in the egg help bind the pastry. So when what we'll do is we'll butter the pastry on the sides here, on the insides. Thank you, Eve. And this really just allows it to, it's like a glue basically for the pie to fold over on itself.
Well, that's it. And if you don't want to use egg, then you can just use a little bit of flour and water, and
Flour,
it does
water,
the exact
yep.
same thing.
We use different vegan products as well. In our vegan pastries, we use like coconut water, I think, or coconut milk.
Okay.
And what I'll do is I'll also crimp the sides with a fork here.
Just to ensure the seal.
Just to make sure they seal up right, yeah.
Awesome.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how these turn out, Eve. Got to be honest with you.
I have full confidence that they're going to turn out fantastic here. So, not only are you a businessman or a pie man,
Yeah.
and you help out the Rotary Club, but you also are a board member here at the Greener Village. You sit on the board.
I do sit on the board.
You're
here.
literally one of my bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far, but I definitely sit on the board. I'm the executive secretary of the board here at Greener Village. That's a position I started last January, so January 2022, and I've transitioned over to the executive position in January of this year, or the secretary position.
Perfect.
So that's one done. That looks great.
So you are you've got the pie company that keeps you pretty busy, but I mean you're a busy fella, being with all your charity work,
Yep.
working for the Rotary, helping us out here at the Greener Village.
Absolutely. And I love it.
Yeah. Is hand pies your full-time job, sir?
Hand pies is not my full-time job. In my regular day job, I work with the Organization of Canadian Nuclear Industries as an independent contractor. I mostly do innovation project management. My background is in applied chemistry and chemical engineering. I've been in the innovation space for a long time. I've worked with the New Brunswick Innovation Foundation here in New Brunswick. I've worked with the Research and Productivity Council, and then just this new position is just recent. I started in early December of 2022. And it's focusing on preparing New Brunswick manufacturers for the opportunities that will be present in the small modular reactor space.
Oh, cool. So you got a lot going on.
I do have a lot going on, but I like I said, I like keeping busy. I like giving back, and honestly, my day jobs are great. And I love innovation and science and everything technology related. And there's a lot of cool things happening right now in that space. And New Brunswick. Always, some people think that, it's a backwater kind of province, but honestly, there's a lot of cool things happening. There's a lot of cool businesses. There's a lot of cool startups in all sorts of technology spaces. And yeah, it's an exciting time to be in New Brunswick.
Perfect.
There's two. Let's make at least one more here.
One more, absolutely. So there's one more right there. So what flavors do you have in hand pies?
So in hand pies, currently we have, the chicken pot pie and a steak, ale, and cheese pie are like the classic kind of hand pies.
Okay.
We have some more non-traditional, maybe more Atlantic kind of flavors. We have a cheeseburger pie. We have an Atlantic donair pie, which people really love. We have a breakfast pie, so a ham, cheese, and egg pie. And then we have that one vegan pie, and we have a couple more vegan flavors being developed. One is a roasted vegetable pie that is not quite there yet, but we're just about ready. And those are the starting flavors. We plan on developing more flavors as we go, but for now, that's what we have.
Perfect. Now, we're going to get you to switch hats just for a second because
Sure.
if you want to get involved in, say, the Service Club, the Rotary Club, and things like that,
Sure.
how do you go about doing that?
I mean, reach out. We're on social media. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us online as well. If you Google Sunrise Rotary of Fredericton, you can find us there. Rotary International, if you go to the main Rotary website, you can also, there is a club finder function there, so you can find local clubs if you're not in the Fredericton region. And honestly, go out to one of the events and ask one of the volunteers. Everybody knows where we'll be and that kind of thing.
Perfect. So we've got these three pies now. You're going to give them a quick wash.
Yeah, get quick egg wash, and then we'll pop them in the oven.
How long and how hot?
We usually bake these types of pie around 380, 375, depending on your oven, and it really only takes about 25 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I think we're ready to go.
We'll just slide these in.
Yep.
And we'll pop those in for about 25 minutes. Here we go. Now, through the magic of television, we've got these lovely golden hand pies right here that are still screaming hot that we're just going to put in right like that. Once they cool down a little bit, then you can just grab one and go.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the concept of the hand pie. It is a to-go meal. Of course, these are a little bigger than we normally make them, but they're going to be delicious. I can't wait to. We'll leave it cool down a little bit because I don't want to burn myself, but I'd love to see. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna cut it open. Oh, it is very fluffy and
flaky.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The pastry did come out really nice, and you can. Oh yeah, absolutely. That looks delicious.
Those look very, very good.
I'm gonna have a little bite.
Have a bite.
Oh yeah.
So we did good.
Oh yeah, it turned out good.
Perfect.
Julie, be proud.
Awesome. So to sum up, past president of the Rotary Club.
Yep. Current member.
Current member.
Yep.
If you want to sign up, you go to.
Like I said, our Facebook page at Fredericton Sunrise Rotary Club, or you can Google that name. It'll bring you to our website. You can Google Rotary Clubs International. It'll bring you to the mothership of the websites, and on that site, it'll bring you Rotary Clubs within your area. And you can just reach out to a member or come to one of our events. Like I said, we have the Beer on the Bridge coming up. We have our gala on May 11th that we're celebrating non-Rotarian community members. And you can, find us there, and at any time, all our members would be more than happy to discuss what Rotary does and how you can join.
So if you're new to the area, it's a great way to make friends, build connections, and all that good stuff.
Absolutely, and we do have Rotary members that are from outside of Fredericton that move here and they come connect with clubs, and that's a great way to get integrated into the community. Perfect.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Andre,
Not a problem.
and sharing what you do for the community. And you're a busy guy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yves, for having me. It was a pleasure. It's been great.
Right on. And I'm going to try some of these hand pies.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks.
Cool.